Alisha and I have been having a lot of private conversations, just trying to break generational trauma.
So I know my mom's watching this, and I know she's gonna text me being like, honey, you're not a bad daughter. I love you so much.
I never said that I have a huge I said that I have a huge rack.
You do have a juicy though.
And you too.
Thanks. We're so different.
We're so different.
The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Pretty basic.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to your absolute favorite podcast here on the internet with best friends. I'm Alisha.
And I'm Remi. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Pretty Basic.
Thank you so much. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like my brain is moving every direction and it's thinking so many things, but at the same time, there's nothing in there right now. Like I don't know how to explain it.
I understand. Did you medicate this morning?
I did.
Okay, good.
But it's like working extra overdrive today.
We needed to double up today.
Laser focus.
Yeah, I've been sleeping a lot. Actually, no, I haven't been sleeping a lot lately. But I think it's because also Alisha and I went out the other night. And I'm just like, I was just going to tell you this beforehand. We had to crack our backs before we started because my whole body, like I'm turning 30 soon and I feel my body changing. I was so ready to rage this weekend. We went out and I forced everyone out because I was like, Mama needs a night out. We got to go. I was asleep by 6 p.m. Like I was like almost asleep at the table. I wanted to go home.
Oh my God.
I was so tired and I ended up staying in when we went back to my house to change.
Yes.
And every time I lay in bed, this has like been a new thing in the past month, my hips crack every time I move. Is this just like, this is being 30?
Well, what's weird is that's where it starts. You're like, weird, this has been happening. Oh, I must just be tired. And then you're constantly tired and you realize, oh, I think this is just the new normal.
Hate that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm myself until I take a sip, just one singular sip of my energy drink and I'm like good to go.
Or my coffee.
Yes. I don't even need the full thing. It's just one singular sip. It's just like, I'm here and I'm ready.
I think it's more of an emotional support thing because even the other day I knew I had to clean the whole house and just get a lot of stuff done. And I was like, boom, went and did it, cracked open that energy drink. And suddenly I didn't even need to finish it either.
It's just that sip, that first sip that touches your tongue.
It's like having an invisible friend or best friend with you, and you're just knowing that you're going through life together. Yeah, invisible friend.
I will say, I was just talking to somebody about energy drinks recently at Kaylee's wedding, which we'll get into.
Oh my God.
But I was talking to her new brother-in-law, and because he was like, I really need an energy drink. I was like, don't worry, I brought like 15 packs because Alani knew so graciously gifted me some to give to Kaylee's guests.
To her guests?
To her guests.
Wait, what?
No, they were so nice. Liquid IV sent like 30 bags.
Stop.
And Alani knew sent over protein bars and energy drinks because it's summer camp. So we're like, oh, like let's make little goodie bags. And they were going to go buy them. I was like, let me just ask to see. And they were like, we'd love to support her. I know, it was so nice.
I love when brands are willing to do stuff like that. Like obviously they didn't like expect anything out of it, but like here I am being like, everyone go get Liquid IV.
They're so good. It was so sweet. And then we stuffed the bags. It was so funny. We were like, I got to the Airbnb early to go help stuff all the bags and I brought so much stuff. We were filling them and Kaye goes, hey Phil, remember when we thought that people were going to be upset how lame the bags were? And they were like overflowing with stuff. Aww. But I was talking to the brother-in-law about how he really needed an energy drink. I was like, I got you. I've got a case here. And then we were talking about how at some point you get so acclimated to the amount of caffeine though, and then you have to stop. I remember at one point in my life, I was drinking one of those, what are they, Celsius, like Surge or whatever, where they're like 300 milligrams and I would feel nothing.
Yeah, that's
I cut back, but that's so scary.
When I was having like my morning coffee, obviously that's a given, morning coffee.
Obviously.
That, and again, I don't necessarily need to finish it, black coffee. You know, I'd love to have like my like iced coffee, like a second cup, but like iced. And then usually around like the 3 p.m. slump of the day would be my energy drink. And I'd be so confused why I have insomnia.
Oh.
Which speaking of.
Oh my God. We should have said that at the beginning.
We should have. It's okay. This is for the real viewers who the girlies who get it. Very exciting news. Basically, Unfiltered, our other podcast, officially launched a Patreon. So go subscribe to that. Just type in your browser, patreon.com/basicallyunfiltered. And yeah, we are having bonus content and vlogs and fun stuff. And we've never had a Patreon, and we figured it would be better to do it on the other podcast because we can just have so much more fun with it and do crazy shit. So yeah, no pressure, but if you want to sign up for it, you definitely should.
We have a high episode that we did where Alisha and I got so high. I felt like the world was closing in on me. I think I went mute for a little while.
Camping vlog.
We did a camping vlog. It's like 45 minutes of us learning how to camp.
It's so funny.
It's really funny. We did, we had the night where you and Zane and I went out. We're doing a Pilates class. We're going to Vegas soon.
Lots of content on the Basically Unfiltered Patreon. I'm so excited because we've never had a Patreon. So yeah, go...
And best of all, we can use copyrighted music on there, which like for us doing this for the last 14 years, we use copyrighted music in the beginning. In the past like 10 years, we haven't used copyrighted music because we follow the rules.
No,
right?
like it's crazy.
Universal Music Group.
Right? There were no lawsuits.
Sans lawsuit, but no, we don't use copyrighted music, but it's been really, really fun to like use that. We want to do like carpool karaoke.
Yeah, and early access to like podcast episodes with no ads and stuff. So there's going to be so much shit on there. And I forget that we haven't talked about it on here yet.
Yeah.
So it's been out by the time that you see this, but yeah, go subscribe.
I just watched this video. I've been obsessed with this new YouTuber called, oh my God, Sir Yacht.
Sir Yacht. S-I-R?
He's so sweet. Yeah, his name is Joey. And it was so cute because Cal and I love watching food videos, like mukbangs or food tours or like food challenges. And he has been going really viral recently because he keeps making these videos about like only eating Costco pizza for an entire week, only eating In-N-Out for an entire week, only eating this for a full day. And he's really good at making the videos, but I've been obsessed with them. He did a video where he drank coffee, like Starbucks, only for an entire week and like only ate there. So it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Like Super Size Me vibes, no?
Very similar.
Without the other part of
without the science of it all.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend his videos. They're really funny. And so he was on the video, he was saying that I guess your suggested amount of caffeine per day.
I don't want to know.
It was more than I thought. 400 milligrams.
Oh, I'm golden.
That's a lot, right?
Well,
I didn't fact check that, to be honest, though.
I know 1 cup of coffee is 80.
And I know a Celsius or something is like 200, which is already, I'm like, that's too much for a day.
No, I'm only at 280.
But isn't that crazy? Like, doesn't that feel like too much for a day?
I mean, I don't know if that's factual, but I'm going to go off of it.
I know. I'm going to look it up. Let me check. But everybody watch Sir Yacht. I really like his videos. Oh, but what I was going to say, which was so sweet, was he was doing a video where he was eating like, I don't know what he was eating, like In-N-Out or burgers or something. And he kept going back to the drive-thru, and the drive-thru worker was like, "Oh, are you?" Because he kept coming back. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, like after day 2, I'm sure the worker's like, "What are you?
Yeah,
what's
like
going
weird
on?
looks.
Cut the cameras."
It was really sweet though. The guy was like, "I really want to start YouTube as well. Like, how did you get into it?" And he was saying that he just more recently started doing. He's been doing content for so long, but he was doing sports for a long time.
Oh wow!
And just recently, in the past, I think like few months, he started making food content and just blew up. Like every video has like multi-million views. Wow. And so,
but that makes sense that
isn't that cute? He was like, just keep trying.
Well, I was going to say, especially sports, like he clearly knows, I can't wait to watch. I feel like he clearly knows like the editing, the angles, the camera, like all that stuff, and keeping it interesting.
No, it's really cute and I'm happy for him, but it's so true. Like I know a lot of people are listening and they're aspiring creators.
Yeah.
And he was literally just saying, he's like, you have to find your niche. And like, once you do it, then you just ride that wave. But sometimes it just takes people longer to find your niche.
Oh my, I feel like most people, especially now who have like blown up, you find out that they've actually been posting for longer than you think, but they just got traction sooner.
For something, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because when Emma Chamberlain came on, which we always talk about, when she first started, she said she did 30 days of posting videos every single day, did something different, and then whichever video like did the best, she's like, okay, I guess I'll just do this.
Yeah.
400 milligrams of caffeine per day. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
You need help sleeping? Lemme sleep.
I've been having it lately, and when I tell you, I've been sleeping so good. Because there was a while where I was not sleeping good. It's like a month ago. I was like I needed to figure something out. Ashley yelled at me, which as the older sister should do. Well, not necessarily, but she basically was like, get off your freaking phone and don't be on it right before bed. We all know that is important and it helps you sleep better. But hello, what am I supposed to do when I'm awake and I have my insomnia and I'm just sitting there? So I was like, I'm going to get back into my reading, which Alisha and Remi has officially started ACOTAR.
Not only started, you're like done, aren't you?
I'm on the 4th book, which is so small.
Out of how many?
5.
Oh, see, you're almost done.
That's what I've been doing the past 2 weeks. While you were at Kaylee's wedding, I literally was I think I read 2 books in one weekend.
That's amazing.
And they're like
literate.
It's bigger than the Bible. It's literally so big. Like they're so big, except for the one I'm on right now. It's pretty small. But I've been reading that. So I was reading that before bed. And then I also, added some of those Lemme sleep gummies. And when I tell you my dreams have been crazy. because they always are crazy with me in general. But when you take melatonin, that's the best way I can describe my like antidepressant dreams, which a lot of people get. Is it's as if you took a melatonin gummy or something, and the dreams you get are literally like you feel like you live them. I've said this before, but the Lemme ones, because it also has magnesium in it, you don't get like, you get dreams, but I wouldn't say they're like scary or crazy, and I don't wake up groggy. This is literally not even sponsored. Like they did send me, they were like, we would love to send you PR, so it was PR. But I bought Lemme gummies like a month ago, and I even mentioned it in a video of like products I regret buying. And I tried the Lemme bloat, like de-bloat ones, and I put them in, I included that in the video because I was like, I swear these don't work. Like, and I have publicly said I thought they were a waste of money. So I have to formally apologize to Lemme for including your de-bloat gummies and my products I regret buying.
Do they work now?
Well, I haven't tried, but I in my head, I was like, oh, I don't think the Lemme ones work, but those were the only ones I tried. And I will say I did order them off of Amazon. And I know sometimes if it's from Amazon, it cannot be as like fresh or good. And I also just think I struggle with IBS, and I'm sorry, but no gummies are going to help me if I have, crazy spicy food or something. You know what I mean? Like I pick our battles, you know, I'm expecting so much from this one little gummy.
It's true.
But if I just ate
non-IBS triggering
if I just
foods,
ate nachos, I can't be mad the gummy
You
doesn't work.
should try it. You should try it
again.
and like do a diet where they're like nothing that will hurt, and then go from there.
So needless to say, Lemme, I'm so sorry because I'm obsessed with your. Oh, maybe I should do a video of products I used to hate but now I love. You know what I mean?
But also like maybe the depot just doesn't work, and maybe the sleep does work for you.
Exactly.
Maybe
but
the
again,
sleep doesn't work for other people.
I kind of because I remember hearing people saying like buying any like medicine or things like that on Amazon can be hard, or like protein powder, like it's better to get it directly from the source because you don't know how long it's been sitting in their thing or whatever and stuff. So regardless, Kourtney Kardashian, let me buy some more.
They're
gummies,
so the sleep ones knock me out.
But I don't feel groggy the next day.
I as well. And I don't really get.
I took them last night.
The only time I get really crazy dreams is when I eat right before bed. Do you ever do that? If I eat right before bed, it's over for me.
Yeah, but I think for me, I more just don't sleep well.
No,
like I'll wake up a lot.
Very vivid, crazy dreams.
Okay, so I've been more indoors lately, like whether it's just working or chilling. We're cooped up so much. And then whenever I step outside, I feel the fresh air on my skin. I'm like, oh, this is what my skin's been missing. I think about how much, we're making sure we're eating fresh, healthy foods. We should also be doing the same for our skin. And finding the right products to nourish it is key. That's why I'm so obsessed with Pharmacy. That's Pharmacy with an F. Is all about farm fresh, real ingredients mixed with clinically proven results. I've been using their cleansing balm for so long now. I'm obsessed with it. I also love getting the little travel ones. That way when I travel, I still don't sacrifice my skincare routine. The products are amazing. They don't just feel good. They actually work. They hydrate, cleanse, and totally nourish your skin. Also, the Honey Halo Moisturizer from Pharmacy is life-changing. Fun fact, they get their honey from this family-operated bee farm in California, and I feel like I can feel the nature in it. Like, I'm not even kidding. The honey mix with ceramides instantly hydrates and locks in moisture. You get this gorgeous dewy look without feeling greasy. And you guys know I hate my oily skin. Also, what I love most is that it's full of high quality, natural ingredients, things that I feel good about putting on my skin. And on top of that, Pharmacy is eco-conscious with sustainable packaging and a partnership with Feeding America to reduce food waste. It's the best of both worlds. Fresh, farm-grown ingredients paired with the power of science. Their Honey Halo Moisturizer doesn't just make your skin look amazing, it actually nourishes and strengthens your skin's moisture barrier all day long. So if you're ready to drench your skin in honey hydration, go to pharmacybeauty.com and use code PRETTYBASIC for 20% off your order. That's 20% off at FARMACY beauty.com with code PRETTYBASIC. Trust me, your skin will thank you.
Today's episode of Pretty Basic is sponsored by Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. You know I love a full glam moment, and this foundation has been a game changer for me. It's so smooth and just melts into my skin. Plus the fact that it keeps my skin hydrated for 24 hours. I love it so much. My skin feels moisturized all day, and I don't have to worry about it drying out or looking patchy. It's basically my new holy grail. Whether I'm going for a no makeup look or full-on glam, this foundation does it all. It's definitely one of those products that you don't realize how much you needed until you try it. What's really cool is Bobbi Brown tested this on over 7,000 faces to perfect the formula. They really made sure every skin tone and type is covered. I found my shade right away. I am currently right now in the shade Neutral Honey, and I love that they took the time to make sure that it's inclusive for everybody. And the finish, it's not too dewy or matte. It's just right, which is so hard to find in a foundation. It's like your skin, but way better without looking like you're wearing a ton of makeup and without feeling like you're wearing a ton of makeup. And their In My Skin campaign is all about embracing real beauty and confidence. I love how it's not just about makeup, but about owning your natural self too. It's like they're encouraging you to be comfortable in your own skin while still giving you the tools to enhance your beauty. And with how long lasting it is, I've been wearing it all day, even in the LA heat, and it stays flawless. Perfect for when we're out and about. No need for a million products, just a foundation, and I'm good to go. With 24-hour wear, hydration, and a formula that adapts to your skin's needs, it's like magic in a bottle. You guys need to check it out. Head to BobbiBrown.com and find your perfect shade of weightless skin foundation. Seriously, your skin will thank you. It's one of those products that once you try it, you will never go back. Speaking of which, speaking of dreams, I had a really crazy dream the other night, which I don't want to go like too into detail, but it was from one of my friends from high school that passed away.
Oh my God.
And you guys, I don't know. I feel like it was like I don't know. It definitely means something more.
Wait.
I know. And I haven't had a dream like this about her in a really, really, really long time.
Her specifically.
And I don't know. I've been like, I don't know. Something's definitely like up. I don't know if she's around me right now, but it felt like so real.
Was it a comforting
was
dream
so real.
or
no,
not?
It was very comforting.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she was
I didn't know if
sweetest.
it was like...
It was just weird. I woke up. I feel like it's hard for me to articulate, but I just have not had such a vivid dream like that ever in my life.
Really?
And it felt like there was a reason for it for sure. I don't know.
Not that there's a right or wrong answer. Were you close enough to the family? Like, is that something where you would reach out to the family or anything because of that? Or
I don't know. I don't think I will because I haven't spoken to them in like a decade. Yeah. But I don't know. It just like, I don't know. There was something very interesting.
Well, that's really weird you said that because I think I was with you the other day. We were driving. Where were we driving?
Camping?
Oh, Pilates, I think. Okay, Pilates. So LA.
Pilates.
Oh my God, it was Pilates. And there's a girl from my high school I wasn't close to, but I definitely knew because we went to a very small high school, and she passed away in a car accident years ago. It was really sad. The few times I go on Facebook, like that's when I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And it's just such a weird feeling. It's such a weird feeling, especially with someone who like you knew from high school, and like, I don't know, it's so weird, especially the first few times that starts happening. But when we were driving, I saw someone in their car and it was like a twin of her. Like I thought of her because I was like, oh my God, that looked just like the girl from high school. Yeah. And it made me think of her for the first time in years. So that's really weird because that was just the other day.
That just happened?
That just happened the other day.
When we were driving together?
It was quick. Maybe it didn't look, but like I had that specific feeling too.
That's so crazy.
And I didn't reach out to the family. Like I didn't know the family either, but it's weird because it's like, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this?
I also just don't want to like message them if they don't want to hear anything from, you know what I mean?
No,
or like if I don't want to trigger anything, of course.
Yeah.
Recently, another one of my friends from high school, one of my really good friends, ex-boyfriends actually just passed away also. And it's I know this is like a universal feeling and like, it's so scary. I was texting Shane about it because Shane and I were close to him, and Shane's just like, we're at that age now where like that keeps happening, and it's a universal experience obviously, but it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's heartbreaking. And it sucks that it happens in the first place. And it also just like, I don't know.
It puts life into perspective. It's also, like for someone like, and we've talked about this, like I haven't had anyone close to me. I haven't had to deal with grief really in that sense of like a close family, like friend or anything. And I don't know, I can't imagine having to like go through that. And then seeing people who you thought you'd like grow up with and
that would live forever. And like, I like see them at the reunions or just keep up with them on Facebook or
like
something.
Not just of old age. It's just weird seeing when someone passes away and they're like, they had so much life left, and it's like it feels like they were robbed of like a whole life,
of course,
you know?
For sure,
versus just old age, which is still sad, but when you can see it coming, like when my grandparents passed away, like I wasn't close to them, but you could see it coming, so it was easier. But when it's like a high school friend,
oh for sure, like car accidents, like horrible horrific tragic accidents that keep happening, it breaks my heart. And it's just so I don't know how to talk about it. It makes me like, it's so upsetting.
I won't know how to deal with grief. I feel like I'm gonna like look to like all my friends and like even viewers of like, how do you like, because it's just, again, it's a universal experience everyone's gonna experience at some point, but I'm like so shocked I've gone this long being 31 and like not having to like deal with that. But I think it's gonna be really hard for me. And I think it's hard because it's so different for everyone too. I think that's something about growing up that you just don't anticipate. Like,
yeah, you're
there's
like
lots
never ready.
You're never ready. Like, I don't know. And just realizing that life is short. I think that's something else that, you know, we can joke about our bones cracking and getting older that way. And just like, it's just weird it's so weird getting older. We always talk about how our parents don't feel like our parents anymore. Like, they're still our parents, but they just feel so fragile. Like, my parents were over yesterday. Cause I hadn't seen them in a while and I didn't realize how long it's been. And I felt really bad because I was like, oh my God, I've been like, not a bad daughter, because I know my mom's watching this and I know she's gonna text me being like, honey, you're not a bad daughter, I love you so much, because she will. Hi, Chris. Yeah. But it was really good seeing them. And then of course when they leave at night, I'm like, okay, get home safe. Like Ashley was like,
I know.
Be careful of drunk drivers. Like, it was a holiday. Like, and it's such a weird shift that happens. Oh my God.
I know. I talk about it a lot, but when we went to Korea and I was posting all the videos with my parents, there were so many comments. I posted that video where I put the text of growing up, or at some point when you're growing up, you finally understand that your parents are just doing life for the first time too. When I finally came to terms with that fact, I feel like I gave them a lot more grace, and my relationship I was able to heal my relationship with them. Then once I realized like they were trying to do their best, they were trying to navigate being whatever age they were at that time, or being parents for the first time, or anything like that. I feel like I finally understood, but it wasn't until I became an adult where I finally got it, where I could have a kid right now.
Yeah.
And I would not know what the hell I'm doing, and I'd be trying my best.
The literal chairs next to us would have our kids on it.
With a stroller, like...
Yeah. We're gonna be here like having the stroller on our foot, just like rocking them.
I've heard that Shane's a lot nicer to my parents now, which he's always been. He was a little butt for a while, but he's a lot nicer now, and he'll just call my parents all the time, being like, "Thank you so much for everything you did," because he has a kid now.
I was gonna say, he's a dad.
He totally understands now, and I feel like that's an experience that I'm sure a lot of people go through.
Also, it's such a weird concept that, like, again, growing up, if your parents did something that you didn't like and you like have resentment towards them for whatever reason, and then you realize, oh, I'm also gonna fuck up my kids, like, and like I'm gonna do something that triggers them, or like, even if I try not to so hard, it'll probably be the opposite effect. You know what I mean? Like, you try so hard to protect them that they like rebel, or like, or regardless, like, you try so hard for one thing. So it's like, no matter what, my kids are, God willing, I have them, but like, my kids will probably be like, I hate that you made me brought up this way, or like all these. Oh my God, it's so scary.
It's so true. Alisha and I have been having a lot of private conversations just about things lately, and one thing that I'm currently working on is trying to break generational trauma, and I'm going through that, and it's been quite the journey, and it's never fully done, obviously, but I'm really trying to break certain things so that I don't pass those on to my kids. But then Alisha is very quick to remind me, love that we're healing this, but just keep in mind, because I feel like I'm working so hard on breaking one certain pattern that, like, she's in a good way. You're always like, but just remember, you're human. You will fuck up your kids in another way. It won't be that way because you're doing the work, which is amazing, but it will be something else, which I feel like I need to remember, because I do think, had you not told me that, and inevitably I do, I would have felt like the world was crashing down on me.
I have learned so much from therapy, and I know half of it my parents didn't even mean to do. And it's just like, oh, like, I can't even imagine the pressure of like, and then now with so much information of like, your kid from like year 1 through 3 develops this way, and like all of the science behind it, and then you're like trying so hard not to like mess them up, or like, you know, oh my God.
Yeah, I saw a really funny TikTok of like this girl, she made a TikTok of her baby, and she's like, my baby sleeping in its crib, and the crib was like fully up to code, or whatever people are saying now, which I even remember when Shane first had Holden, he was like, I'm so scared for mom and dad to watch him, because obviously we trust them and we love them and they did a great job with us. But at the same time, a baby in the 90s is so different than a baby now with all the things that we've learned. And so she was like, you know, me following all the rules and making sure I'm doing all these things. And then it was like cut to her, a baby in the 90s. It was a crib full of like stuffed animals and blankets and just like, it was like the room was crowded. And she was like, me growing up in the 90s, totally fine. Totally. But it's just so different now.
That's what also, I was actually just talking to a friend, because they're pregnant right now, and I was saying like, oh, what have you learned that's like a common misconception, or just like, because I just like love research and stuff. And she was like, oh, I've learned so much just from like researching. And we were talking about the fact that how like now it's so hard with so much information, because at the end, like, your intuition knows what's best for your baby.
For sure.
And then on top of it too, like, I'm sorry, but women have had kids for centuries, like thousands and thousands of years, and they didn't have like TikTok. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, it's just so crazy.
What's that thing that I got Shane and Lily? The
The app where like
the thing that like rocks the baby.
Yes. There's just so much.
It like shakes your baby for you. Not shakes, rocks.
And this is why don't follow us for any parenting advice
God,
yet,
no.
because we're not there.
Follow Aspen.
Follow those. Yes, follow people better than us. Better than us. Oh, one thing I was like, okay, what's something you've learned that's like, obviously I'm 31. I have no plans on having kids yet. I would prefer to be in the more traditional route where I'm married first, but at the same time, I'm like, if that happens, it happens. I'm fine. But obviously being older and like eggs and all of that fertile, like there's so much now that's just different. And I was like, what's something that you've learned? Cause she's the same age as I am. And she was saying how a lot of research that she's done, again, this is just a friend who read a book. Okay. Take it or leave it. But she was saying how, and her doctor agreed that like the difference of you having the percentage of like things that can go wrong with a kid when you're older.
What constitutes older also?
Apparently if you're 35 and older, you have a quote, geriatric pregnancy. Yeah. 35 and older. I thought it was 30 and she corrected me and said 35. No, like it's crazy. It's crazy. But when you think about it, I mean, yeah, my mom was so young when she had like it used to, I don't know. It's just so weird.
That's crazy.
And I'm also like, why do we got to call it that? Why can't it be something called cuter? Like, why is it called that?
It's like when all the vets keep calling Daisy senior. I'm like, yes. She's 10.
I'm like, she's a puppy.
She's literally a child.
I mean, that's my child. How dare you say she's a senior?
No, it's really offensive.
Excuse me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she said that, which I thought was interesting. And she also said, I guess the percentage that it can harm is so unbelievably small. So like you having a kid at 34 versus 37, it's like the tiniest little percentage higher of.
It's just a little.
It's little.
Then what's with all these scare tactics?
Okay. So we were talking about that and she was saying like, well, one, I was like, it's just crazy. Cause again, centuries ago, they never had access to this information. Two, I guess also if I was the 0.001% that something bad happened to, I would also scream it from the rooftops just to help other people. But I also think a lot of it too is like, I'm sure they're just looking for ways to like market stuff too, you know?
Hate that.
The stress of trying to have a kid because you're, again, I don't fucking know. I just feel like that causes so much more stress thinking, oh my God, it's a geriatric pregnancy. And then how am I going to like, it probably doesn't help your chances of actually getting pregnant.
That's crazy. It's just a small percentage change because from the way that people talk about it, you would think that like between 34 and 35, like let's say I'm 34, February 6th, whatever year that's going to be. I turn 35, February 7th. It's like suddenly 50% less possible to have a child. That's how they make you think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And again, everyone is so different. So obviously there's that. It's also really common when people are trying hard to have a kid and then they like adopt, then they'll have their own kid because they're trying less. So it's like stress clearly does so much to your body.
Stress is the main killer of like everything. It's crazy.
So it's just like, it's so interesting. And part of me loves how much information there is out there. And part of me hates it because now it like opens you to so many more things.
We've talked about the idea of you freezing your eggs before. Have we put any more thought into that?
I still feel the same. I forget when we did talk about that. We also have conversations off the podcast.
Didn't we talk about that on here?
I think we did. Yeah. And I always forget what I've updated them on versus just you. But as of now, I still don't feel the need to freeze my eggs. But then also again, I had someone, I think she's like in her 40s where I remember she was like, my biggest regret in life is not having a kid. And I wish I froze my eggs when I was 29 and I was 29 at the time. And I remember being like, okay, but I don't feel like I need to, but this is someone who's experienced it and is like, no, like if I could go back to my 29-year-old self and like shake her and be like, do this one thing. So I don't know.
It's just hard that it's also such a big process. Also, I wish they could make it obviously a little bit easier for women. But you also could just go get an egg count. You can do that.
Oh, wait.
Without having to like go in and freeze just to see.
Wait, I would love that. Yeah, it's just blood work, right?
I think it might be an ultrasound situation too, potentially. I think I heard that recently, but some sort of test, you can just see how many you have so that, you could see if it would be easier or harder.
Yeah.
Since everybody's so different.
Oh my God. We're so different. Love it. All right, guys, let's talk facials. My favorite topic as of late. And you guys already know, I've been so obsessed with getting facials. And recently I went to Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. It was one of the best facials I've gotten in such a long time. The vibe was so so nice. They were the sweetest people ever. I cannot wait to go back. If you haven't heard of Hand & Stone, they are recognized globally as the top facial provider. They deliver unparalleled skincare solutions with nearly 2 million facials performed last year. They also take a very holistic approach to wellness, which I love, and they offer a range of massage therapies for relaxation, tension relief, from hot stone to deep tissue treatments. I got the deep tissue. Oh my God. Amazing. They also make sure that every single facial is personalized to you, and the benefits are just endless when you get regular professional facials this way. I've been getting the Clarity RX hydrating facial, I believe, and oh my God, my texture, everything has improved so much. You guys know I'm really insecure about my pores and just the texture of my skin, and I feel like I've seen such an improvement after I've started to get these facials. The esthetician I had was amazing. Like, I've never had extractions done where it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all. It was amazing. I cannot recommend enough being consistent with your skincare routine, seeing the same esthetician, and just having a more personalized approach with your skincare. And like I said, they have so many locations with over 600 Hand & Stone massage and facial spa locations across the US and Canada. Prioritize self-care with easy scheduling and flexible membership plans. Also, you can book online as well as in spa. So book a first-time facial and experience the Hand & Stone difference. Get free aromatherapy with your introductory facial, a $10 value. Just use code PRETTYBASICFREE at. Promo code valid until December 31st, 2024. I'm not kidding. The way this episode has been all over the place.
I know, I'm really sorry. But Cal and I just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of being engaged.
Congrats,
yesterday.
By the way. I didn't text you. I meant to.
Oh, you don't need to text me, but thank you. It's so funny because I completely forgot that it was even a thing. Truly, I forgot. There's also, I'm not good with anniversaries. And I truly thought growing up, like once I got a boyfriend or fiance or husband or whatever, like I would crush it. And I can't remember dates for the life of me. And I didn't know it was my 1-year anniversary until I was working, and Whit goes, it was Friday. And she's like, oh my God, what are you going to do this weekend? I was like, probably just sit at home. She was like, oh, but like, it's your anniversary. I was like, no. We just celebrated. She goes, no, a year since you've been engaged. And I ran upstairs. I was like, Cal, we both forgot, which is long as you both are on the same page about everything. You can't get mad. So we're totally fine. Imagine I was like, are you kidding?
Forgot? Are you forgetting something? Although you forgot.
That would be so mean. But I was with Alisha and we were driving a few days before, and I was telling her about how it's the 1 year, and she goes, oh my God, I bet exactly 1 year ago we were fighting.
Because we're so different.
We're so different.
I love that inside joke. It's been a year.
It's been a year
we should come
since we sat on these chairs and did that. We were on the couches at that time.
I was going to say, I think it was the other ones.
Yes.
To give you the benefit of the doubt, though, I will say you just celebrated your 5-year dating anniversary. Like, you just did that, and you're planning a wedding. So I feel like this also kind of went, like, I get it. Because even when you were like, oh, we have our anniversary, I shot it down so quick. I was like, Remi, you don't have to.
Asking advice for my dating anniversary next year?
No. I thought when you first brought it up in the car, you were like, oh my God, it's going to be a one year from our anniversary from when he proposed. I thought it was in a month or two. And I thought you were like, oh shoot, now we have to like go on a trip and like do something elaborate. And I was like, Remi, you are good. Like, you just went to Hawaii. Like, a dinner is good enough. Like, it doesn't need to be something crazy. And then you're like, no. We're going to dinner, but we're going on Monday because that's when our anniversary is. I was like, yeah. Oh, you mean in like 2 days?
It happened so fast. I even posted a TikTok and all the comments were like, how has it been a year? I didn't know either.
It's been a year since I literally was on my Find My Friends for probably 5 hours straight, watching yours and Jesse's location of like how they got close. Because I was like, Jesse's hiding. I was like, oh my God, I think she's in the bathroom. Like, I was tracking you for so long.
That's so crazy. Time flies. Kaylee also just got married.
Kaylee got married.
In case you guys didn't know, my best friend from middle school, or technically high school, got married, 8th grade, 9th grade, whichever you want to decide on. And it was so fun. And I feel like you probably felt the same way about Alisha, but like, it's so, obviously weddings in general are amazing. And now I've been to quite a few, and I love every wedding, and I love celebrating the couple, love celebrating love, but it's so different when it's my best friend of 15 years. I felt like I was having a family reunion because I haven't seen her parents in so long. I haven't seen like her aunt and uncle in so long. I like her cousins who I grew up with, going to like 4th of July parties with. I walked up and they were full adults. I was like, who are these strangers? I'm not kidding. Like, they were full adults now.
And it's weird because it's like, you dreamed of that. Like, you're like, oh my God, we always joked or dreamed that like this day would come, and now here it is. And it's such a weird experience.
It was crazy. Agreed. I feel like it was my job as maid of honor was obviously to make sure that she had the best day ever. But on top of that, it was just like making sure weddings are chaos. My God. And making
something's
sure
always missing. Something's always like,
oh, I'll give the tea.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I'll give the tea. And then I'll ask her if I can share. I'm sure she'll be fine with it. She was the most chill bride ever, to the point where I was like, please help me help you. I need a decision on something.
Peach or pink? I don't care.
No, actually, I asked her before. I was like, what should people be wearing? Like, because she didn't really give a ton of directions. I was like, what should people wear? She's like, I don't care. I'll be wearing a dress. I was like, yes,
yes,
we know that. But for everybody else, let's give them directions.
Also, people need direction.
Absolutely.
Like, especially, like, even just cocktail attire, like, isn't enough. It's like, is it on grass? Do we wear heels or stilettos, or is it a block heel? Like, what's the vibe?
So the whole weekend was like amazing. We stayed at a summer camp. A lot of people were messaging her while we were there, being like, I know you don't want to share where we're at right now, but please let me know after, because it was a dream. It was called Kennelin in Soquel, California, Soquel. It's in like the Santa Cruz area. And it was stunning. If anybody wants to get married, if you want a Twilight wedding, get married there.
That's
it was
what it looks
so
like.
Beautiful. They have 2 venue locations, one where it's just the venue in the forest, one where you can have the summer camp. So we stayed there. Everybody came in, and I think there were like 70 or 80 of us, and you like literally like have a campfire, and it was really cute. So they had every person in the bridal or wedding party, groom's party and bridal party be like a quote unquote camp counselor. And we all had like a task to do. You guys, I didn't participate in anything because I felt like I was working the whole time. Like I was like setting up my glam station. I was making sure everything was good.
Well, yeah, I know you've said it before, but you did her makeup the whole time.
Yes. Oh my God, I have so many things to say. Yes, which I'll get into that in a second. And so
you had a job in itself, just being maid of honor, let alone
doing the glam, which was so much pressure. But everybody had like an activity to do. So while we were glamming, they were going from a pickleball tournament to a flip cup tournament to then sumo wrestling. They got into big suits and were fighting each other.
The big, like the blow up ball thing.
Someone got like a black eye the morning of. Someone in the groom's party got a black eye from it. I'm like, this is crazy.
That's so like what Kaylee wanted. Like she's like, I want like games. And I saw her post the flip cup one, and I see Cal. That's so funny.
Okay. Also, I just have to say, this is my best friend's wedding. Like, I've known her for so long. I went to the bachelorette. Like, I've met all the girls. Like, I feel like I knew her family.
Yeah, you grew up with her.
Cal knew every single person at this wedding, you guys. He went, because he did go to the bachelor party the whole weekend. Where's Cal? Oh my God, Cal. At one point, I was exhausted on the wedding day because I woke up at like 7 to glam myself early. Then I glammed Kaye, and then obviously we had the wedding, and then I was helping after with everything, making sure everything ran smoothly. So by 11, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to Irish exit.
Yeah.
And so I told Cal, I was like, hey Cal, can we go back to the room? Like, can you walk me there? I just want to.
Well, and you had to get
up
up really early.
And he was like, yeah, for sure. On the way out, Cal, where you going, dude? Don't worry, she's going to bed. I'll be right back. Tells screaming this at the top of his lungs. I was like, be quiet. I'm trying to go to bed quietly. Yeah. I don't want anyone to see me. But it was so cute. I got a lot of comments also, 2 things about the makeup. So I did Kaye's glam for her wedding because we trialed a hair girl up in the area, and she wasn't super happy with that. And she couldn't get a makeup trial.
Yeah.
And so I even had people ask me, once I decided to do it, they're like, oh, well, why don't you just hire like your glam people up there? And trust me, I considered it because doing someoe's hair and makeup on their wedding is so stressful.
Hair, okay, it falls, like things get out of play. Makeup,
I know.
Like makeup, like if it's the wrong like primer and it starts looking like peel, like anything can go wrong. It looks so good though, bitch.
Thank you so much. Makeup by Alisha and Remi taught me. Thank you.
No,
I was stressing though, but a lot of people asked, they're like, well, why don't you just hire people? I considered it, but the camp, which if anybody books there, just so you know, they don't allow people to come in and out. Once you're there for the weekend, you have to stay. So that is why I wasn't able to hire anybody, which I did highly consider it, but I did it. And I had also people saying like, oh, I don't recommend that, Remi, like it's going to be really stressful, blah, 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 blah. And I have to say, yes, it was stressful, but I'm actually so happy that I did it because I gave us 3 hours to do her glam. And for 3 hours, other than people coming up and being like, asking her questions or like asking her for things, it was just her and I. Aww. And so we had like 3, oh my God, I'm going to cry, 3 devoted hours to just like sit there together and talk. And like when she needed quiet, we just had quiet. And she was like getting overwhelmed sometimes, so she would cry and we'd be like, it's fine, we're just gonna cry together and then we're gonna like patch it back up. But it was amazing. So I'm really glad that I did that.
Sorry, I pictured you with a headset of like Okay, great. So-and-so wants to come. Is it okay if that? Okay. Give it.
I wish
for 20
I did
minutes.
that.
No, like that'd been so good.
It was so funny. And so the only thing, because Kaye is like the most chill bride ever, she wanted to do one TikTok, because I was like beforehand, what are we doing for content? What are we doing for? Oh, also.
You have a light.
No. Oh, I brought 2 lights. Shout out to Glamcore. Thank you for sending me those lights for this too. Also, she wanted to do the Princess Diaries TikTok.
So good.
So iconic. It's the Paolo took this and gave you a princess. And so that's all she wanted to do. So I did her hair, I did her makeup. We trialed it so many times. And then when I filmed it, obviously I filmed it on her phone, because obviously it's her TikTok, because this is the one thing she wanted.
Yeah.
And so I film it, and then obviously she went and got married, so she was very busy. And when I was, one little drama though of the weekend, when I was doing her makeup, I did her hair, and I had gotten some comments after we posted her glam being like, that's not the hair that you trialed, or like, that's not the makeup that you trialed. And it's so funny to me because like, I knew we switched her hair and makeup after Olivia Culpo's wedding, because she sent me Olivia Culpo's photos and was like, I want this instead. I said, perfect, we'll swap it. I didn't tell the public because I didn't think people were keeping track.
Wait,
but
Miss
isn't
Remi,
that so funny?
Yeah, it's funny how like, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast, but like, let alone like other people would remember.
I just thought it was so sweet. People were so invested in like her hair and makeup. Aww. And I swapped my hair to be, because I honestly didn't think I was thinking about Kaylee morning up. I was like, I didn't think about what I'm going to do. So I just was like, oh, I already trialed this hairstyle on her that she doesn't want anymore. I'll do it. Fine.
Yeah.
I did it. People were like, isn't that her hairstyle? I was like, not the drama. Not the drama.
Also, you're like, whatever's quickest. Yeah.
Truly, I was like, I already know how to do this. Boom, done. And so people, it's just so funny. I was like, oh my God, people like obviously care about her so much, which I thought was so sweet. And like, they keep track, and they were looking forward to seeing this one look. And then I swapped it, but obviously it was her. But I was doing her hair, and I did her hair. I put it all up in these rollers. We trialed it. It was so humid. By the time that I took the rollers down, hair was flat.
Damn.
That's okay though. It's fine. She was cool, as we all know. And but I'm about to start her makeup, and we're making sure she's fed, because obviously the big thing for the bride is make sure you're fed, make sure you've had water, make sure you're hydrated, and 5 big sips of water. And I finish her hair, thank you. And one of the bridesmaids comes up to me and goes, hey, don't freak out.
Fuck.
My dress is in Orange County. We're in Northern California. Her dress? Not the wedding dress. The bridesmaid's dress was in Orange County.
How do you forget the one thing?
As we spoke. I know. I get
it though. I forget shit all the time. So I'm not one to talk.
And I will say I do too. I will say, if you are like, for me, when I was packing up the car with 5 bajillion things, I kept thinking like, the only thing that actually matters is the bridesmaid's dress. Like, that's the only thing. Everything else you can purchase. Everything else you can make it work. You can't replace that.
Who cares? Yeah.
You can't replace that. Even when we like stayed at the Airbnb that night, we left most of the stuff in the car, but I was like, just in case the car gets broken into, I'm taking that upstairs. So just a little note, if anybody is watching and you are in a wedding and you have a certain dress you need to wear, guard it with your life. Also, I'm close to this bridesmaid, so like, it's totally fine. And so, and I was obviously so nice about it.
Also, I'm sure she was freaking out.
She was just like, oh my God.
But also, there's nothing you can, like, what do you do?
Also, like, last thing you do is tell the bride, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
So we're whispering about it, and she's like, don't worry. The photographer had already come in and was like, I want to start taking your photos at like 1:45. And then the bridesmaid comes up and is like, the dress isn't coming till 2:30. I was like, cool. I'll take my sweet ass time with the makeup. And so we're having lunch. I'm like, Kaye, you really need to eat. Like, you really need to eat. I'm really hungry. And she's just like, okay. And so then I finally start doing her makeup, and I'm taking my sweet time, and she's getting so mad at me.
Oh my God, I bet.
She's getting so mad at me.
Also, she was the one who was like, I want to play kickball the morning of my wedding. So I'm sure she also was like,
she was not.
She was like, expecting 30 minutes, let alone 3 hours.
I know, in her head, she's like, we trialed this 3 times and you are taking this long, which she did tell me after she was thinking that. But all in all, dress came. Yes, dress came. She found out about it after, which is like what you do.
Good.
Tell them when it's done and it's been solved and we're good to go. And everything was beautiful. Oh my God. Then her little niece, she's 3 years old. She's the cutest little girl ever. She was the flower girl.
Oh my God. You posted a photo with her. She looks so cute.
I'm obsessed with her, and she's so sassy. So we all like are literally at the ceremony, and we're like watching them get married, obviously, sobbing, all the things. And her niece is just like, we're on like a wooden platform situation, and she's wearing like the cutest little heels and frilly socks. So, and she's just walking around the whole time they're getting married. So you just hear
and
she's literally just like walking around. And so at one point I bend down and I pull her up, and so her dad is officiating them. Her mom,
so she feels like she owns the stage.
She does own the stage. And her mom
there,
is next to me. And so, or actually 2 over from me. And Kaylee's sister is next to me. And so at one point I like kneel down and I'm like, Scarlett, come here. And I like pull her over next to me. And I'm like kneeling and I'm like looking at her. And I was going to be like, hey, like you want to stand here? Yeah. She literally, I'm not exaggerating, you guys, looks at me and goes, stand up. In that tone, in the middle of the ceremony, stand up.
Oh my God, stop.
And Kaylee's sister and I are like trying not to laugh because it was so just
loud.
Like, duh, why are you sitting?
Like, hello?
It was, you're being rude. It was
my God.
so funny. And then later her sister came up and she was like, I heard that. I like could not stop laughing at her.
Oh my God, that's so, what did Kaye say after you told her that?
She was just like, okay.
That's
like,
so funny.
She was, again, so chill.
Yeah.
Just like at the end of the day, she gets to marry the love of her life. And it was such a fun thing to witness. Oh, I keep seeing, I wish I put this in my speech, but I keep seeing this line on TikTok and I'm so upset I didn't say it, but a lot of people like maid of honors or people who are writing speeches for your friends from childhood that are getting married is the line is, I hope to the husband, it's like, I hope you love growing old with her as much as I loved growing up with her. Bye. I meant to put it in my speech, but I completely forgot. But like, that's how I literally feel. And like, I know you felt the same way with Alisha. Like, it's such a beautiful, joyous experience. Like the life that Kaye and I have shared together and like all the memories and like seeing her family and like all these things. And to see her be able to continue her life on with like this person that is so good to her and so good for her. And like, it's just like the most amazing, rewarding feeling for everybody involved. It's so beautiful.
My heart.
It's so beautiful. I know.
How did the speech go? I know you were nervous.
Oh, it went very well. I had everybody. I made it a bit of a competition with the best man, who I also know. I've met him. He's so sweet. And so everybody was just, they came up, they're like, great speech, great speech. I was like, thank you. You don't have to say that, but it went really well. And it was like the perfect mixture of like directed to Cal and I were like, I was writing it on the way up there. And so Cal was helping me.
Well, you had 7 hours.
He's the son of an English teacher. Oh. So he'd be like, too wordy. No comma there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
You're like, comma, breath.
No, literally. Yeah. Pause for applause.
Pause for dramatic
pause
effect.
Pause for applause.
No one does anything. They're just staring. You're like, okay, wrong crowd.
No, literally, yeah. Tough crowd. But I wrote the speech up and it was like the perfect amount of like, he kept being like, it should be directed towards her versus like to the audience. So we did like a little mixture of like making it about her, including her husband into it. And then doing all of that.
It's also hard when speeches are so inside joke that no one else
you can't do that.
It's like 1 or 2 little lines or like vague enough to where people can like fill in the gaps of like that one time in Miami or something. Like you can joke, but it is hard when it's so specific that you're like, I want to laugh or like I want to smile, but I don't understand what's happening.
Exactly.
So it is a fine dance, like you were saying, like a joke but serious.
Yes, it's a wave. You got to ride the wave for sure. I hope I never have to give a speech again in my life. But it's okay.
You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time.
No, I understand the formula. I watched so many TikToks of girls making like maid of honor speeches, and it's a very like it's very formulaic. You gotta like it's a little dance that you gotta do. You gotta make it about the bride, and then make it about the groom, and then them together, and then a little bit about you.
Not too much, not too long, not too short.
Exactly. Sweet 3 hours. It was 3 minutes 24 seconds. Boom, done.
Boom. I'm sure that felt like 10 though.
And I got so drunk. And it was amazing.
Did you have any drink of liquid courage before, or were you strictly sober?
I had a little bit.
I would need at least a drink.
I needed it.
I could do it. I just think I'd be funnier with like one little.
But you gotta give a little time.
Or if they don't laugh, I can laugh it off versus like cry. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Or you like don't remember it, which is probably the best part. Yeah. I already know Cal's best man is going to be wasted. So we'll probably have to do speeches at the beginning of the night.
Today's episode of Pretty Basic is sponsored by Zbiotics. And let me tell you, I needed this after our last night out. After a night of a few drinks, the next day can be extremely rough, but not anymore thanks to Zbiotics. Remi is the one who introduced this to me, add it to the list of Miss Remi Ashton, made me buy it. I have purchased this so much. It's a staple in my pantry. Seriously, if you're someone who loves to have a good time but hates the next day struggle, you need to hear this. Listen up. It's a probiotic invented by actual PhD scientists to tackle those rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets turned into this toxic byproduct in your gut. And that, not dehydration, is what actually makes you feel like trash the next day. And Zbiotics has this enzyme that breaks down that byproduct before it messes you up. It's proactive, so you don't have to rely on the typical post-drinking remedies like electrolytes or greasy food or whatever. And I'm going to be extremely, extremely honest. I was extremely skeptical at first, but trying it after a festival, let me tell you, that'll turn you into a believer. I even did Vegas recently and I did it with no problem. Now, anytime I'm going out, I can actually enjoy my night out without worrying about the next morning. Plus, it's so easy to take. You just drink 1 Zbiotics before your first drink and that's it. You're covered. I'm honestly blown away at how simple and effective it is. Join the movement of empowered women who are choosing Zbiotics for fresher, more productive mornings. Trust me, once you try it, you'll never want to go without it. Go to zbiotics.com/prettybasic to get 15% off your first order with Pretty Basic. And if you're not happy with it, no worries. They have a 100% money back guarantee. That's zbiotics.com/prettybasic and use the code prettybasic for 15% off. Thank you, Zbiotics, for sponsoring this episode and keeping us feeling good. Your future self will thank you the next time you wake up feeling amazing after a night out. Thank you, Cotton, for sponsoring the Pretty Basic podcast. Since you hit play on this podcast, thousands of photos have been posted on social media, capturing the moment, but not always living in them, and probably a few hundred more by now. Cotton is asking us to help our listeners take a pause, to tell stories instead of just watching them, and to make moments better by wearing a versatile, comfortable, and long-lasting fabric, a fabric you may even be wearing or laying on right now. As I'm recording this, I'm currently sitting in one of my favorite cotton sweat sets. It is so unbelievably comfy. And you guys know there is just something about me. I'm very, very particular when it comes to choosing fabrics. It can't be too itchy. It has to be super soft. I'm very selective. And cotton is natural and comes from the earth. And because it's natural, it does not contribute to microplastic pollution. Cotton is natural and hypoallergenic, making it gentle on your skin. I'll be honest with you guys, my life can be chaotic and I'll be so busy back to back, but I'm definitely taking a pause, especially when my life feels like so, go, 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 go. There's been so much happening.
Honestly, I love wearing my comfy cotton sweats. There's nothing better than just sliding them on. Oh, opening up my drawer and getting so excited to take my tight
after a fresh
pants off,
shower,
and put on something so comfy. Yeah, after a shower, something so comfy. The cotton on my legs just feeling so smooth and relaxing. It puts me at so much ease. Not only being comfortable, but also turning off my phone and watching a movie with Cal. Taking a pause is so important for me because I really get wrapped up in work and I have a really hard time setting boundaries. So it's really important for me to make those clear distinctions between work and relaxing time.
Remi and I always hear you guys and we want to be present for you as much as we can. Let us know how you like to press pause. Press pause with cotton, the natural choice. Discover the fabric of now at thefabricofourlives.com. I like the speeches at the welcome party.
Yeah.
The rehearsal dinner.
Oh my gosh.
So that way it's more intimate versus like taking the time and the whole thing. I do like a speech though. Like, I don't know. I still do love I guess it depends.
I love a speech. Yeah. They did the parent speeches on the first night.
Nice.
Which I loved and I thought that was good. And then the night of the wedding, it was just my speech and just Connor's speech, who was the best man.
So I love that because I know my parents, and if there's like 200 people there, they'd probably prefer it to be more intimate anyway.
Yes. Yeah. You let me know if you want intimate or big and I'll adjust to that.
Depends.
Yeah.
What are you feeling?
You marinate on that.
I'll marinate on it.
One thing though that I took away from the wedding that I wanted to bring here that I thought was so amazing. So at one point in the night, I was having a talk with one of the other bridesmaids who is so sweet. She's been a subscriber for so long. Love you, girl. I won't put her name on blast because we're going to talk about one of her friends. But she was telling me that one of her friends is currently a single mom of 2.
Okay.
And 2 kids. And so I think they're young too. And so I was asking like, oh my gosh, I think she was recently separated or divorced and she's just getting back into the dating scene. And I was like, oh my gosh, how has that been for her? Dating alone is hard. I'm sure dating with 2 kids also just obviously makes it harder.
Oh my God, yeah.
And she was like, she is the most confident girl in the world. She's like, I envy her confidence. She's so amazing. All these sorts of things. And she said that her friend taught her this, like, I guess it's not really a dating tip, but just more of like a life tip. And I was like, I'm writing this down. I'm bringing this to the podcast. Oh my God,
I'm ready.
So what she does is you can pick whatever you want, but 3 things, whether they're 2 physical, 1 like character aspect, 3 character, 3 physical, whatever. So she was like, what she does is what this mom does is she'll be like, I have a great rack and I am so trustworthy and I am, a generous friend.
So it can be deep or superficial. Like it can be.
You could do whatever you want. Okay. Or, like I have the most amazing legs and I have such great hair and I'm like, I'm the most loyal friend in the world. Like you can pick whatever you want. But so she said she takes that when she goes dating because, sometimes whether it's online or in dating aspects or whatever, people can knock you down. And so what she was saying is, like this friend, you know, if they're dating or, you know, somehow something gets brought up or someone makes her feel insecure about like maybe, you know, maybe her like stomach isn't as flat as like, you know, as she would like.
Or if like a guy's like, oh, I love girls with big boobs and you don't have, big boobs, and you're like, well, fuck me.
And you know what she says then? Like, let's say, let's use the boob thing. Then she's like, I never said I had big boobs. I said that I have a great ass and I have amazing hair and then I'm a loyal friend.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like, that's so good. I was like, I need to start thinking it, because so in dating, in life, so many people can make you feel badly about yourself because they're projecting or for whatever it is.
Or that you have less, like because you don't have X, Y, Z or you're less than versus
exactly.
Even physical's easy because it's like, yes, I do or don't have that. It's like, okay, maybe I don't have long supermodel legs, but I do have that. Like knowing what else you bring versus just feeling like torn down.
I never said that.
Yeah.
I never said that I have a huge ass. I said that I have a huge rack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
You do have a juicy ass though.
And you too.
Thanks, bitch.
Thank you so much. But you know what I mean? I was like, don't let anybody make you, I mean, obviously this goes without saying, don't let anybody make you ever feel lesser than, but I think that's such a good, like, quick,
self-worth.
Yeah, quick, like, you know, tune in with yourself. Like, I never said that. They're crazy.
Yeah. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Remember the perfect imperfections tag on YouTube, like in 2011 or 12?
God, I forgot about that.
It's weird because I get why I remember it got backlash, and I remember why it did, because some people's came across bragging, but it was supposed to be like a self-love tag of like, these are things I love about myself. We can bring it back on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be like, oh, these are things I love about myself. Some people will be like, I love my teeth, I love my smile, I love my nose. And it's supposed to be like a, let's spread positivity to like uplift ourselves. But I remember some people were like, this is a weird tag because it's just you bragging about yourself. But I was like, I don't think that's ever how it was or was intended. Again, people projecting stuff, but I remember it kind of stopping. But I think I made one forever ago. I should find it. I think it was unlisted.
I also feel like, I mean, that was probably 2010,
Yeah,
2011, whatever, 2015. I do feel like just in general, society has come around to loving ourselves and just more acceptance overall. We still have a long ways to go, but like, I would now watch that. I feel like at that time, people were like, this is strange. But now it's like, yes, bitch, you should love yourself.
Well, also like, oh, so it's fine for me to come on and cry about my insecurities. But if I'm happy about things I am secure about, then that's me being too much.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's like, oh, people like seeing others when they're down on themselves or going through it. But God forbid I feel confident in something. It's like, oh, it's too much. Like you be like, you're bragging, or like, oh, it must be nice to blah, 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 blah. And I think that's such an interesting, like, thing how especially online people love watching others be miserable and they want you to stay there. Like it's like, again, God forbid you're confident with your tall legs or short legs.
Sure.
Like be confident in it. I hate how if you're down bad, people are fine. They're supportive, but the second you're confident, they're like not.
But I also just think that says the fact that that's a universal experience for every creator, I think says a lot about just society and a lot about just, and like I understand to some degree too. I really do. Like misery loves company. Yes. When I'm bummed out, I don't want to see people happy. Like I totally understand that.
Oh yeah.
Would I go as far as to like comment? I don't think so. I know I wouldn't actually, but I also like it, that isn't a universal feeling. It's human nature. I understand to some degree.
Yeah. No. It's totally, it's so weird. Cause even if like we always say my sense of humor is like very conceited and cocky, especially with a few drinks in me. I'd be like, oh my God, I love this about me or whatever.
You should.
But yeah, like, and it's easy to be like, I don't know. What's something you love about yourself?
My huge
fat rack and my huge juicy ass.
No, I'm just kidding. What do I love about myself? I love my sausage toast.
I love your toast.
And I love that I can spread them really wide because it's a funny party trick. What is something you love about yourself?
No free feet promo.
No free feet. There, you can see through the light.
It's so weird. I'm like, be confident me. What am I?
Myself? We should do the perfect imperfections tag on here.
I like my long torso.
I love your long torso.
Thank you so much.
I do. And your slender neck.
I used to hate it, or my neck. I used to think I was a giraffe because I had such a long neck.
You're such a skinny, gorgeous neck.
No, like growing up, I just felt like all my friends had cute little like necks, and mine was like.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, I'm being dead serious. But then I grew up and I was like, oh, actually, I like it.
I love it. I wish I had a longer neck.
Again, everyone greener on the other side. Everyone wants what they don't have.
True. Yeah, I love your long torso. You in a drop waist, be bomb.
Love a drop waist. Drop waist. Love a drop waist. Oh my God.
I think we should bring back the perfect imperfections tag. We can update her for 2024, but like I think we should do something along those lines.
Those DSLs.
What is a diet? Oh, I literally didn't know what that was.
No, you're the one who, oh my God. Well, you did
forgot.
5 years ago. I remember you'd always be like, oh, everyone says my lips are like, because they're so natural, because they are. And you'd be like, my second lips.
No, I don't remember her. That was Romy.
Oh, Romy. Well, maybe Romy needs to make an appearance. We should do it. We haven't done a drunk episode on here in forever.
Have we ever done a drunk episode?
We should do a wine, like more like classy.
Have we ever done a drunk episode?
I mean, truth or drinks, but not just like, woo.
Oh, but just us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get trashed and come here.
No, classy.
Classy.
With our wine.
Classy.
I love a white wine. I love a Sauvignon Blanc, but I don't know much more than that. And I feel the one thing
I love a rosé.
And our generation doesn't care. We're like, just give me something good. But like, when people know about wine and they understand, like, it's like science, like knowing every little thing to it. It's so interesting. And that's something I want to get better at.
Sommelier school, perhaps?
Perhaps. I'm always just like to the waiter, I'm like, whatever you think is best with my meal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, whatever you recommend. And I hate that. Like, I want to get better.
I, unfortunately, though, am not the biggest red wine girl.
Me either.
Love cooking with it. Don't love drinking it. So my options are a little bit more limited to the white, sparkling rosé. You know what I
Whispering
want to try?
Angel.
Love Whispering Angel. I want to try orange wine.
Oh, wait, I tried one.
Was it good?
I forget if I liked it. I remember thinking it was going to be like orange juice, and it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't orange juice. Hello. It's not a mimosa over here, but.
Could be.
Or we could do like a breakfast. We could do a PJ's episode with like mimosas and
You know what we need to start thinking about? What are we going to do for Halloween this year?
Wait, that's coming really
That's coming up so soon.
And we have to pre-film it obviously before Halloween comes.
It feels like we were Glinda and Elphaba yesterday.
I'm just saying they obviously made the live action after they saw us be them for Halloween last year.
You're
so right.
so right about that.
You go, wow. We really should make a live action Wicked after watching our beautiful performance.
I saw a leak online. Do you want to know the tea?
Yes. Wait, spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Leave if you don't want to know a leak about Wicked. A photo was released. None other than Kristen Chenoweth was in costume in the back, so she's going to be in the movie. I know.
Wait, okay. I love that though, because she was like her mentor, and like,
Oh,
hello, she's like
she needs to be in it.
Do not get me wrong. I love the casting.
Okay,
but
here we go.
I also I'm like, dude, Adina and like Kristen, like they are Elphaba and Glinda.
Yes.
So I love that she's in it, and I obviously,
sure.
I mean, maybe Adina is, and we just don't know. But like, I would love for them to have like a nod to, because like that musical would not be anywhere without them. You know what I mean?
It's so true. I was just watching this like 10-minute TikTok about just the origin of the story and how it came to be as a Broadway musical. And it's such an interesting story.
I don't know if
how it came to be. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But it was like the rights were bought for the movie for originally, and then Stephen Schwartz, who did all the music.
Oh, I love him.
And I'm not sure of her name, but the one who I think wrote the book. They were like waiting for them to make a movie. They didn't make it. This was like before the musical was even written. So like in the 90s, I think they waited a while and then finally was like, hey, can we do this movie? Or can we do this? We want to make it adapt into a Broadway musical. And then finally got the rights and then brought on Ben Platt's dad.
Oh,
who?
No way.
Mark Platt, I think that's his name, who's like obviously a huge producer.
You're so good with names. I'd be like, that one guy.
I think that's his name. They brought him on. He brought in Warner Brothers or some big company that brought all the money.
Oh, to fund it.
And fun fact, they did it. They brought in Kristen originally, and they brought in a different girl to play Elphaba. And then they did like at some point she got very early on got replaced with Idina Menzel.
Like a chemistry thing reading maybe?
I think like they did like a run of it. They did previews and it flopped horribly. So like it didn't do well. So they went back and took the time to redo all of it almost.
But think of how many things they were like, oh, I guess it's just a flop. We're not going to pursue it. But all it could take is one switch like that.
They went in and switched a lot and then made it what it is now.
Even
and
songs are like that too.
I didn't know Stephen Schwartz is doing new music for the movie also.
Oh my God, stop. Wait, okay. I love when remakes are like their own, but still the original. Like if it's copy paste, I don't care to see it.
Yes.
But when it's like its own, but in a different way, I love it.
And I was told on said TikTok that him and John Chu, so Stephen Schwartz and John Chu, were the ones to decide that it should be 2 movies instead of just 1.
I agree. And honestly, like I get how that's scary because it's like, well, what if we don't make enough money on the second one? But in the end, like there's so much story that it needs to be 2.
It does need to be 2.
It's damn near 3 hours for like Broadway.
Oh wait, I agree with it being 2. Or they could have just made a 6-hour movie.
Hello, Marvel MCU.
They need to end the first movie on defying gravity. If they don't, like, boom, curtain down. If they don't do that, I'm going to be very upset.
I kind of hope they do, but also, yeah, in the end, it's going to be a cliffhanger, and I think they will do that. I'm going to be honest. I think they'll do that.
I feel like they have to. Like, that's such a good high point to end on.
Yeah. And again, most people have seen the show.
And she's going to be flying for real.
CGI be crazy.
I'm excited. But let us know down below what you think we should be for Halloween.
I know. What should we be?
We really wanted to be, well, should I give it away? I wanted to be London and Maddie this year.
Oh, I still think that's funny.
I want to be London and Maddie when Jesse McCartney comes to the hotel, though. Like, I want a very niche, specific experience.
Well, I mean, I'm down. We could make this look like we could get like a bell cart. That'd be cute.
Bitch. We should see if Jesse McCartney will come onto this fucking podcast.
Wait. Okay, we're gonna.
I'll tell him that my first email is jessymccartneyforever@gmail.com.
Let's fucking do it.
Oh my God. Wait.
I'll tell him my first email.
I didn't have a shrine. Like, I didn't like crush on anybody really when I was young, except for Jesse McCartney.
Oh my God. Remi, I see it. He's Cal's twin, obviously.
He's so my type. I loved him.
Oh my God, I love it.
Wait, I'd be so weird if he came on.
No,
like, in the best way.
You don't have to tell him you had the email before.
No,
he
I
comes.
would. I would be so honest because like I have nothing.
You
to
with
lose.
your ring is suddenly gone. That episode. Oh.
Hi, Jesse.
It's getting cleaned.
I wonder what he's up to. Have you seen the video of him falling on stage?
No.
It's really sad.
Oh my God.
He was performing at like a festival or something, and he like was like, "Thank you, good night," and like ran and then tripped and fell.
Okay, at least it's "Thank you, good night" versus the middle where they have to like get up. Wait, who was it? Was it Rosalia? There was someone. It was. She like fell down the stairs, but then got up, did not miss a cue. I was like, that is talent.
Stardom.
Talent. True I don't know if it was Rosalie. I think it was, but it may not have been.
Wait, we should DM Jesse McCartney.
I would love that. I would love that.
That will be our Halloween episode.
And if it doesn't happen, you'll know it wasn't on our end.
yeah, scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, we're like, suddenly there's scheduling conflicts.
Sorry, he's really busy.
We would never make him look bad. Thank you so much for watching this very all over the place episode, or listening if you're commuting, because we know we have some commuting girlies.
Hands at 9 and 2, 11 and 2, 11 and 2, 11 and 2, hands on the wheel.
11 and 2, 10 and 2.
10 and 2?
Wait.
1, 2. 10 and 2. 10 and 2, every 9, 10, 11, whatever you want to do.
Me
too.
Me with one hand.
Both hands on the wheel. Don't drink and drive.
So comment below what we should be for Halloween.
Yes.
On the episode and in real life.
Oh my God, we got to get ready for real life.
Honestly, by the time actual Halloween comes, I'm always like, yeah. Versus that, I get more excited to dress up for like the episodes.
We should do something.
Yeah.
We'll probably Patreon vlog it. So keep it in check, everybody. That's not what I wanted to say.
keep it in check, everybody.
Leave it in. Okay, love you. Bye.